It'll be all right.
What was that?
Probably an alligator. Alligator law. This is where I live. This is what we call home. Houseboat, very spacious, very comfortable. This is it. Come on in. Roomy, 25 foot wide, 35 feet long. 2, 4, 6, 8 people in bunk space. Another one on the couch, that's 9. Put 2 on the floor, that's 11. Or actually as many as you want on the floor and as many as you want outside. But we can pretty much sleep 9 or 10 people comfortable in here. A houseboat without a deck is almost like pancakes without no syrup. You got to have it, you know. I like my deck. Bathroom, television, VCR, microwave, air conditioned, generator, which means self-contained. And that's basically what people look for. Something where they can go out and it's self-contained. It has everything, the essentials that you need. I don't have no lawnmower. It's the only thing I don't have. Of course, I ain't got much grass to cut, so. But I have everything I need here, I believe. Cabin fever? Yeah. No. Jimmy Buffett song? No. No, there's too many things to do, man. Looks good to me. Look out the front door. Can you ask for any better scenery than out the front door? You know? And if you don't like the scenery, you could always pull up the rope and change.
So when I first moved out here, this was a foreclosure, and the people had...
This rock, if you can see it, is my marker rock. It's the one that...
There's alligators up.
Yeah, and I see a picture of my...
There's alligators all over here. You're in alligator country, buddy. Hear the noise they're making, that's because they're upset. In other words, he's already raising hell because they know we're here, you know? Hush noise. Can you calm down just a second? He's about 6 feet long, 6 years old. Not bad. Make a good belt. Good purse. All right, boy. Nobody's gonna bother you. Take care of you. Oh, yeah, I've been bit by them. I've got my heel pulled off. I've had this heel. You can see this heel, it was all bit and pulled off. I stayed 7 days in the hospital, 2 surgeries to get sewed it back on.
How'd that happen?
I was trying to tape the mouth shut on the big one, and my foot slipped on him. I couldn't hold him with my hands, so I was trying to hold him with my foot and my hands, and my foot slipped off, and he caught me. And I just fell back and started hollering. And on this other foot, you can see there's teeth marks across the top of this one. There's teeth marks coming across the top of this foot here. That was for Bassmasters. When we did work with Bassmasters, I was trying to pull one in the boat. And the same thing happened when I pulled him in the boat. I went to move out of the way, and somebody was right there trying to help me. And he didn't get out of the way. In other words, and I got caught between him and the alligator, and the alligator landed on top of my other foot and bit me a second time. The more you fool with these things, the more things you learn. But if you're going to fool with them, accidents are going to happen. You're going to get bit. It's almost like any other profession you do. Electrician, you're going to get shocked. If you're a golfer, you're going to bang your finger. If you're a rodeo bull rider, you're going to fall off. So if you fool with alligators, you're going to get bit. Anybody tells you they fool with alligators and they ain't been bit, they've been around them, but they don't fool with them. Trust me. There we go.
What do you think they think of all these little heads here?
Oh, about all these little heads here? They're thinking that might be them one day. I don't think they really think about it, to be honest with you. I don't think they know that much. If they did, they'd try to figure a way to get out of here. That's what I figure they'd do. They wouldn't hang around. I wouldn't hang around. Ow, ow, ow. These are soulful souvenirs in New Orleans. In other words, we'll take these here and we'll just cure them. We dip them in a 4-part solution of different types of things that we can soak them in: formaldehyde, water, a couple other different things that, you know, it's like a secret family recipe. And then we just kind of cure them. And then once we pull them out, we put the glass eyes in them, and we polyurethane them. This is my dad, Papa Gator. And him and I basically just hang out here and work and do this.
That's what I do for my therapy.
We don't have nobody working here. Whatever we do, we get done, you know.
But you'd be surprised how much we'll do in a day if you just sit and do it.
Just sit here and just build around. And
I might do 100 a day.
He caught a stroke a year or so ago. And the doctor said he needed therapy. That's what he does for therapy. Kind of works in that, and he takes him and he hangs him on a fence. They wanted him to get up and reach. So he says, now he gets up and he hangs the alligator heads on the fence. And then he has a beagle dog. He goes out walking. They tell him to walk, you know. So now he's got a beagle dog. He lets the beagle dog run the rabbits, and he walks behind the beagle dog. And so he hunts and does alligator heads for his therapy.
And I see a picture in my mind, and I just work on it till it, fulfills that picture.
Come to town, and tell me what size they want to work with, and we just come back in, scoop them up. When we did Louisiana Commission of Tourism, a lady said, "Well, Bill, I want an alligator to walk across the road by the alligator crossing sign." And the alligator crossing sign is actually in Sabine Refuge, which is almost at the Texas line. And they didn't want to bring the sign here to the alligator. I had to bring my alligator to where the sign was, because that's where the sign was, and that was Louisiana, to make it look natural. And the lady said, "I want the biggest one you got." I said, "No, I don't think you want the biggest one I got." She said, "I want the biggest one you got." I said, "Okay." I loaded up the biggest one I had, put him in the truck, brought him on down there. Put him on the road, and he just wouldn't cross the road. Actually, he was as big as the road, the whole length of the road. By the time he gets up, he's already, So, because I've been doing this so long, I knew to bring about a 7-footer, 6 foot, 7-footer, smaller one. And I brought one of them. And we put him by the road. Boy, he looked just good. So when you see Louisiana Commission of Tourism commercial, with him walking across the road, and a sign in the background, that's our alligator. That's some work that I've done. Oh! There's another one now. Yeah, when they're ready for them, we just...
For your free Louisiana tour guide, call the number on your screen. Yes. Louisiana, come as you are. Ridiculous.
Back and forth, run around, back and forth, side to side, back and forth, run around, side to side, back and forth. Oh, I'm not sure if I'm gonna have enough time. But I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try. So before I get to this, This might not be a horrible place to start. This little book. This in this book was just before 9/11, or just after 9/11. I have another book of where I wrote stuff on 9/11. But this was 2 days after. On the night of 9/11, I pretty well lost my license from drunk driving at that point. And I have a video of it, I think, somewhere, of where I was pulled over. Anyway, my first thought when it happened, when I first heard of it, it was from my boss telling me because his wife called him and told him that a plane crashed into a building. Of course, this was before it happened. So I was just thinking it was like a small thing, some wacko fucking nut, like, trying to take it out on the man. And I was like, ho 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 ho. And then, from where I was working at a paint store, and there was a Sears next door, so I went next door to the Sears and watched the TVs, and I was like, crying, all that kind of thing. Or, it's pretty emotional. You knew shit was going down. And, but anyway, my first impetus when I heard that the airports were being shut down was I wanted to go out into, quote-unquote, the wilderness. I wanted to go to a place where I could look in the sky and not see any planes, so that I could look at the stars, and I could look at the sky without any movement in the sky, so that I might imagine myself being long ago. That I might look at the sky and see what my ancestors saw, what our ancestors saw. That was my first impulse and my first impression, and it was very important to me. As it turned out, my roommate at the time drove me, and God bless her and everything, but and I can't say anything about her that I can't say about myself. But she was a big old loudmouth, and I just wanted to get out kind of into the woods, and we drove into a place that I thought would be secluded and quiet, where I could look into the sky and kind of just look upon the environment and imagine myself in a different time. It didn't really work, but it was a good intention. And that night, the stuff I have in a different notebook of that particular night was kind of like a mutual poem that we wrote. She was an English major, I was an art major at the time, or I had just dropped out of school for the third time as an art major. She was still an English major, and sometimes we'd kind of jam out a little bit in a kind of poetry. That was nice, even though we were both a bit psycho. And but anyway, so this painting, which I'd worked on in a few different places, which was the painting that I referenced before that I've yet to post, if I can find it. Yeah, this one. This one, which is this one in a different place. There, I guess you can kind of see it. Some of these images have come up kind of elsewhere. This was a different painting which I was going to incorporate But anyway, that's the whole deal about this notebook, is that This is my Hegel's Bad Infinity notebook of that painting. As I was making it, all of this is me planning that notebook. Or planning that painting. Not all of it, but a lot of it. But as we get really far out, like here I am on figure 44 of planning out that painting. Figure 45. Which, back on 9/13/01, was Heavy Metal, Reefer Madness, and the Quest for a Better Tomorrow. Perhaps the best title I've ever come up with. HRQBT. So all kind of Nietzschean stuff. Baudrillard, I was big into him back then. Simulacrum and simulation. But that was what I was steeped in, which is interesting that Simulacrum and Simulation had that huge essay on the Gulf War and the Wag the Dog deal, and that's what I was really into when 9/11 happened. But yeah, so I have all these planned out images and pictures of what I was going to do, and when I realized, I mean, I have all these figures, but I think at the time I narrowed it down to like, I don't know, somewhere under 20 panels. And then I thought, man, I don't have enough space to do these panels like the one panel that I'd shown. I mean, this took up a whole wall, and this was essentially like 1 3/4 panels. And it took up like a, 10-foot wall or whatever. 12-foot wall, 14-foot wall, however big it was. And I thought, I would never. 26 panels, that was going to be like, I don't know. At some point I figured it was just, 100 feet, 50 feet, 200 feet, like how big was it going to be? So that's when I got into it was a while after, but that's when I decided to make this guy. But that's when I discovered Hegel's good infinity, so to speak. I bought this canvas because I said to myself, I am not going to build outside of this canvas. I am going to keep everything inside of this canvas. And then what did I do? I discovered minutia. And then what did I do? I built off the surface like a frieze. It's like you can't get away from complexity. If richness, saturation, or as Lyndon LaRouche says, increased as time goes on, the universe, the cosmos, experiences or explores, performs, expresses increased states of energy flux density. So there you go. But at least, yeah, you couldn't get away from infinity, but I guess at least minutia is a more efficient form of infinity. But what about the other one? Not to mention now I envision myself dreaming about building this picture out. It's a metaphor. In a lot of ways, it doesn't matter if this disappears tomorrow. I've yet to bring myself to destroying it myself, but cataclysm may do it for me, or just eventually I'll perish. And what is my life in the time of time? That's a significant question for which there is not a definitive answer, nor for any of us. But anyway, this was a different painting I made called From Ashes. So yeah, that's pretty well that. And this was all the rest of this from that whole time period. So then the question is, how is communication possible? 1/20/2001. I made a video of that quote, I think on about 12/20/2012, 12/19. I don't know, there's some interesting math there. Speaking of interesting math, oh, let's see. I just gotta do this real quick. I think those are I Ching symbols, not irrelevant. Yes. Infinitesimal interdisc spin. Consider infinitesimal interdisc backspin seemingly slip. I'll get to that some other day. So, tiger stripes. Tiger blood? Tiger stripes. Zebra stripes, airfoils. Heat airfoils, negative temperatures. Negative temperatures, mosh pits. Mosh pits, counterclockwise, not all. Does that have to do with necessary state of the cosmos, or with autosuggestion of lead singers in their arm movement? This is not an irrelevant question. It has everything to do with existence.